Here we are in the final segment here of our program, The Platform, as we talk about Alive, that is celebrating its first anniversary in the Bahamas. And Mr. Blackburn, you've done some big things in community. I know that you've supported Cancer Society and various...
Hands for Hunger was the reason.
Yes, Hands for Hunger. And this is a way of introducing yourself in a very strong way throughout the society. You talked about the Bahamas being made up of many communities, and so there are many community projects that you must get involved in, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we can't help everything that comes across our desk, unfortunately. It's one of the sad sides of the job when we have to turn some things away that are great. We do have a limit to the funds that we have to help. Our general policy has been to help community initiatives that are strong and already there, that have got a momentum and look like they're going to be strong. Sometimes you need help at the beginning, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we generally have been given long-term commitments. We're not here and gone. Most of the deals we've signed are for multi-year periods, yeah, so that we will grow with the organisation as it grows, yeah, and the other thing is that we encourage our team to get involved and give of themselves to some of the things that we're doing. The Special Olympics is a beautiful thing that we've got involved in. I've been involved in Special Olympics across most of the markets that I have worked in before, and it's a fantastic, empowering organisation, and our staff have been fantastic at when we've asked them to get involved in the events that we've had there, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, there's many examples, and we obviously get involved in things that reflect, Bahamian culture, and obviously the regattas are amazing. Like, I mean, I've never seen anything in other markets like the regattas here. It truly is, and I was with the Prime Minister when we paid a courtesy call on him for Sir Durward Knowles' 100th birthday, start kicking off his celebrations, and he was talking about sailing and how important it is, and maybe it will be the national sport, one day.
Sailing, it brings communities together as well.
Absolutely, and the way that it seems to work here is great, because it's kind of everybody's involved in boating one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also good for domestic tourism. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you get much business from foreigners, from tourists?
We are starting to. So there's two or three different groups really. There's those with second homes on Nassau, and more so on some of the family islands like Abaco and Eleuthera. We have outreach to those communities, and they tend to have the need for service for a few months a year, yeah. And that community now are recognising the quality of our service, particularly around the internet, yeah. And the fact that there's no contracts, yeah, so they're not signed in paying every month, they can pay when they're here, yeah. That's a big advantage for that community, yeah. And then there's really stay over tourists, staying at Atlantis or the other hotels, Malaya. Stopovers, yeah.
So how do you share roaming with BTC?
Well, no, you negotiate individual roaming agreements with the foreign networks, yeah. So that takes quite a long time, as you can imagine. We turn up Little Old Alive in AT&T's offices, and that's David versus Goliath stuff, yeah. But I like being David, yeah.
Okay.
So we eventually get the right slingshot, and we manage to strike a deal, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we are just really at the beginning of that journey now on that, where foreign visitors roam onto our network. We have deals with about 30 different networks now. And then the last one's really the cruise ship passengers. And they also have some unique needs, because they're only here a few hours, and we're just getting into how we best service their needs, mainly around internet use again.
What about yachting, the yachting business?
And the yachting community, that's another community, right, to remind me of that. And we are doing some great stuff, again, mainly around the provision of internet, believe it or not, because our networks work out to sea, and a lot of the yachting community want internet, not just calls, yeah.
The other day, a friend of ours, and sailing through the Bahamas. And he dialed 242 and called him. But yet, even though he called two, they charge him roaming charges.
He would be roaming out one or other.
But he's in the Bahamas.
Was he using he must have been using
They were using a Bahamian phone.
Okay, well that's
on a cruise ship, coming through the Bahamas.
because the cruise ships themselves have some equipment on the cruise ship, yeah. So he was roaming on the cruise ship equipment, yeah. Now they meant to switch it off at a certain point. I don't know the exact protocol yet, but when they're so far in port, they're meant to switch it off. So he was going on the cruise ships.
No, he was off in Lucera, I think it was.
Yeah.
And telephoning me
Yeah.
in Nassau.
And he was actually on the boat or close to the boat, no doubt, yeah.
Yes, he was on the boat.
Yeah, he was hooked up. So the cruise ships have some equipment on, and they beam those calls up to a satellite, yeah. But when that equipment's meant to turn off according to the regulations once it gets within so far of port, yeah. And then once that happens, then the customers come onto our network, yeah.
I see.
But sometimes the cruise ship might not turn it off quite when they should, so we can have a look at that.
The competition has been keen, Mr. Blackburn, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I love competition. I've spent my entire life doing competition. That's all I know, yeah, to some degree. And I've generally been the challenger.
Yes.
In those early days in the UK, we were the sixth entrant, believe it or not. And, little old Virgin, yeah, with the Virgin brand. And we fought and we got up to 4 million customers in 5 years. And, that's been my career. So, yes, I expect my competitor to compete. That's the nature of it. And, it makes everybody better, yeah.
And
the customer benefits.
And the customer gets the best deals, eh?
Gets the best deal, and even more importantly, in this particular service that we're talking about, the absolute quality of service is what you need. This is your life for a lot of people now. It's more important than your wallet, yeah.
It's the computer in your hand.
The computer in your hand. It's the window to the world, and so the quality of service is what we're about, yeah.
Yes.
For a fair price, and that's what we're about, yeah.
Thank you so very much for being here today, and congratulations on your first year, and I'm sure you're going to move from strength to strength. With 80,000, and you're growing at a rate of about 5,000 a month?
Yeah, and I just welcome everybody else to come and join us as quick as possible. I haven't experienced our service yet. Thanks to those who've trusted us so far, and we look forward to welcoming everybody else.
Good. Congratulations, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Godfrey.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching and listening to our program. Good evening, everyone.